Well, welcome everybody. We're glad to be here. It's been an exciting day one of the 2024 two-day investment seminar. We've really laid a lot of groundwork today. We've talked about a lot of things. We started the morning off with the VectorVest system and understanding really the core philosophies and beliefs that Dr. Bartolito had when he created VectorVest, right? The foundation for everything we do and our methodologies for making money, that was covered in the morning. That early morning part before lunch, all of those concepts of, building a watch list of all the stocks that you own and treating it like a baseball team or a football team where the players at the bottom of the list that are taking money out of your back pocket, they need to go. And we need to replace those players with strong companies, top VST rated stocks. That whole concept is what we built the Successful Investor Coaching Group off of, okay? And that's the methodology that Todd Schaefer uses. He's the coach for the Successful Investor Coaching Group that he uses in the course and in the group. And he, like I said before, he was able to achieve almost 20% in the last 13 months with a very, very minimal drawdown. And that's VectorVest at its core. I also mentioned, for those of you who are brand new, and you're interested in all the different concepts that we're talking about, pick that one thing. Identify the thing that you find will be the biggest game changer. I talked to quite a few people that believe that Jerry's presentation, where he was showing how to weed the garden, how to eliminate those bad players from your list, was something that you could grasp onto and really build into a successful trading system. Jim came up and Jim talked about, retirement concepts. Still the core VectorVest idea, identifying the best stocks, but for retirement, how to protect those portfolios. And once again, those are the concepts that Jim uses in the retirement, portfolio that he manages. So the whole point being, we want you to focus on that one thing that you can grasp, that you can master, opposed to trying to say, I'm going to do everything that they talked about over the last 2 days and master it all at once. Well, I can assure you for most people, it's not going to happen, right? There's probably a few people who can do that. Some individuals who are very far down their path, especially with VectorVest, who have taken the steps. You build a foundation, then you learn something new, then you take that next step. Then you learn options, then you become a master of options with Ron. Right? That's okay if you do it in the right fashion and you stair-step that. So I encourage you to find that one thing you're looking for and try to master it. In the economy that we've had recently, a lot of things have been flipped on its head. One thing that is relatively new in recent years is the idea of the fixed income investments, right? There are a lot of high-yielding places you can put your money, and in a relatively safe fashion. But the key is, how can we outperform that? When Jerry did the talk earlier and he showed those core concepts of the successful investor, if you will, Todd Schaefer was easily able to outperform it threefold, those fixed income investments last year. And that's great. And it's at the core what we believe and what Dr. Bartolito believed was the easiest way to make money, a 3-step process, and that's great. But the reality is, from time to time, life gets in the way, right? We get busy. Problems occur. Personally, I've been through some things lately that have sucked a lot of time, out for me, where managing a big baseball team or football team wasn't possible. And we developed a trading system that we're going to unveil tonight in true Tampa fashion. We'd like to release something brand new. And Jerry D'Ambrosio is going to come up here in a moment, and he's going to share that trading system with you. It's an ETF trading system, and it trades one position and one position only. That'd be a pretty easy team to manage. Would you all agree? Yeah, and it's pretty impressive. And Jerry's going to bring you through it. The key to making this whole thing work, and I might be stealing some of your thunder, Jerry, but you can repeat this. The key is in the secret sauce called market timing. And for all the gurus out there that say, and you hear them, the talking heads, that say market timing is not possible, this is a perfect example of why they're wrong, what he's about to show you. So it's pretty cool. So Jerry's going to come up here now, and he's going to unveil this, and we can kind of talk through it as we go. And as Jerry already kind of mentioned before, it's already been put into the trading system viewer, and he's going to show you that. All right. Take it away, Jerry.
Thank you, Ray. You guys can hear me okay? Yep. Okay. Yes, so if you haven't realized already, the overriding, I think, theme of today is market analysis, right? A lot of things, everything that we've shown you so far today incorporates some type of market analysis or market timing signal into what we do. The single most important consideration that you want to make when investing in the stock market is not which stocks you pick, and it's not how you manage them. Those are important, of course, but when are you going to buy stocks? What is the overall market doing? And we use the term market timing, but it's market analysis. That's how we time the market, but using indicators that analyze the market and follow the market. So the first thing I want to do is talk to you guys about the timing signal that's used. So this is one of the easiest trading systems I think that we've ever had. I think all automated trading systems are easy because you just do what the system tells you to do. It's completely hands-off. But like Ray said, it trades one position, and it uses one of our most effective market timing signals, the GLB RT kicker. Okay, so let's get into the program, Steve. Okay, and before we get into the slides, I'll show you the performance of this trading system here in a little bit, but I want to first start off with the market timing system used, make sure everybody understands when you're going to start implementing this technique. It's not going to be tomorrow, unfortunately. I know everybody's going to look at this system and want to start trading it right away, but we got to be a little patient. So let's go to graphs, and we'll go to a 1-year market timing graph. All right, and let's change the graph layout to the GLB RT kicker. We'll talk about this. I don't think we've looked at this yet. Let's remove that line there, Steve. Let's close the graph layouts. Let's change one of those moving averages there, the 15, so we can see it, maybe make it red. So Steve's just going to right-click, change the style, change the line to red. Yeah, thicken them up a little bit. So while he's doing that, these two moving averages at the bottom, they are moving averages on relative timing. We all know what relative timing is, right? We've talked about it on the stock level. It's a short-term price trend indicator. We've talked a lot about it on it for individual stocks so far, but we apply relative timing to the overall market. We got a 10-day moving average on relative timing and a 15-day moving average on relative timing. So if you know about moving averages, I don't think we'll talk a little bit about them tomorrow. Short-term moving average above a longer-term moving average is bullish, right? Whether it be a 3 and 8 EMA, a 50 or a 150 simple moving average. Moving averages identify true direction. True direction. It's a little hard to do that with the naked eye and just looking at the benchmark indicator. RT is noisy, so we tried to smooth things down a little bit and applied two moving averages, rather short term, a 10 and a 15, to that RT. So let's, Steve, change the signal to the GLB RT kicker. Well, first off, yeah, that's good. Confirm calls. As you can see, red and green arrows on the chart. The red arrows are going to stay there. So when Steve applies the GLB RT kicker signal to the chart, red arrows are going to stay there. Those are confirmed down signals. That is your down signal with the GLB RT kicker. That is the signal letting you know to go to cash with this ETF trading system. The signal that's telling you to buy QQQ, one position, is the green light buyer RT kicker up signal. So, do we currently have are we currently in a confirmed down signal now? No. So the best time to start implementing this automated ETF trading system would have been on that first green light RT kicker signal on November 13th of last year, because that was the first signal after the confirmed down. Everybody with me so far? Okay. Now, we are October, November, December, almost 3 months, 2.5 months away, and we have not gotten a confirmed down. I want everybody to be patient. You're going to love this trading system, but I'm not sure right now is the time to begin to implement it. Let's be a little patient. We know that the first green light kicker signal after a confirmed down is the ideal initial entry, right? Let's wait. Let's be a little bit patient. But this is the market timing system that we're going to use. Green light, light in the price column of the color guard, along with the 10-period moving average on RT above the 15. It's called the kicker. It confirms that the short-term trend is up, and it's strengthening. Green lights in the price column of the color guard we know are good signals to use. Okay? So we buy the QQQ at the first green light RT kicker signal, and we sell it either if it reaches a 99% gain or a 15% loss. We have a cushion or a safety net in place there. Even though you're still in a green light buyer RT kicker signal or the market's going up, you have to put some sort of a stop loss in place, and we feel the 15% is reasonable. Okay? Let's go into now the slides. Okay, I said either 99% gain or a 15% loss or a confirmed down. Those are the only signals or indicators that you're going to get letting you know to sell QQQQ. I'm sorry, that one. Okay, really hard to see, but okay, let's blow that up, Steve. So let's go to the top slide.
I've lost my cursor.
Okay. Oh man. How about minimize this? Minimize the. Actually, no. You can't because you don't have a cursor. Use the mouse keyboard. Use the keyboard on the. It's not there either.
I can change slides. Let me try to replug.
Okay. So a couple of charts I'm going to show you here. You good? Okay. Let's pull up the slides again. Let's try this again. Disappears?
Yeah.
Phew.
What am I doing?
You could still see, yeah, but there's some other ones. Okay. The top slide, which unfortunately Steve can't get to, it's basically an equity curve or an equity curve of the Qs, just simply buying and holding. Fantastic. All right, let's go to that top one. Good. Buy and hold, QQQQ. What's that beginning date there? Can you start the slideshow? Fantastic. What are we looking at here? November 2020. So 4 years. Buying and holding the Qs. Man, can you do that? Can you live through all of this nonsense, right? 7% annualized rate of return. Okay, not bad. But a 35% drawdown. I think that's a little too high for anybody. Like to keep it within, upper teens to low 20s. I think that's a reasonable drawdown to live through. It's going to happen. You're going to have to work through that. But buying and hold the Qs, not the way to go. Okay, let's look at the next slide. Here's that trading system. Okay, same time period now, 16% annualized rate of return, and only now a 15% drawdown. You cut that in half. Outperforming a buy and hold approach while reducing your drawdown. And these flat lines here are the times that you went to cash. And this is a stair-stepper type of an equity curve, right? Doesn't just go up in a straight line. You're going to pull back, and it's very likely, too, that right before a confirmed down signal hits is when you're going to give back some gains, okay? But you stay in cash during the confirmed downs, and the GLBRT kicker signal turns up, you buy QQQ again. Pretty simple? Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, here's the comparison. Both made money, obviously, and does market timing help, right? Does it work, right? So obviously a buying and hold approach, not the way to go. You want to incorporate market analysis, market timing into everything you do, and this is no exception. So you can just clearly see the difference here, the comparison between the two equity curves, holding the same position, okay? No, it's not a different strategy, it's not a different stop, it's the same position. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So here's buying and hold. This is going back a little bit further now. Buying and hold the QQQ. This is up to August of 2023. 28% annualized rate of return, 35% drawdown. Same return, when you incorporate the GLBRT kicker signal into the system, but look at the drawdown, 15%, okay? This is going to help you not only sleep better at night, but just kind of reduces your overall risk. All right, let's go back into the program. I'm going to show you guys how to build this now. Any questions on the setup? One position. So let's look at the three components of an automated trading system. When to buy. We understand that, right? Market timing signal, the GLBRT kicker, that's when we're buying. What to buy, one position, one ETF, the triple Qs. When to sell, 99% gain, 15% stop loss, or a confirmed down signal. Very, very simple. All right, unfortunate for you guys, if I go to viewers now, Steve goes to viewers, Ray Clark last night put the trading system in the trading system viewer so everybody has it. All right, you all have it in the trading system viewer. And you can see it's the number 4 trading system from the top. It is considered prudent, okay? It is considered prudent. You can see the performance here. Last 1 month, almost 2.5%. Last 3 months, 3.33%. Not year to date, but over the last 12 months, 29%. 88% all time. You can see the little chart here over the last 1 year. Bottom left to upper right. A lot less volatility than the overall market. 2023 was a good year. I think the S&P went up almost 18%. VVC went up about 10%. Good year for the stock market. It was a bumpy ride for sure. But this equity curve, as you can see here, very, very smooth. Not a lot of volatility at all. Annualized rate of return, 22.5%. And then the drawdown, 8.5% drawdown over the last year. Okay, so that's what's today. Today is the 5th, January 5th of last year to January to current. Only an 8.5% drawdown. I back tested this going back to 2009, basically the same results. Almost a 20% annualized rate of return. Drawdown was a little higher, it was a little less than about 20%, but same number of winning trades, 66.5%. Yes, sir? Go to when a confirmed down signal is given. QQ, no matter the performance of the position. Okay? So, a couple of things. We can go to trading system details. This will give you a little bit more info here. Here's the equity curve over that same time period. Since February 14th of 2020, so we're working on 4 years now. Go to trading system rules, Steve. It just has a little description at the top. Buying long using the GLBRT kicker up signal. We're filling that portfolio with the Qs, and that's actually a search in the program. 99% gain, 15% stop loss. We're just trying to maintain one position. It says automatically replace closed positions, so if you happen to get stopped out during a GLBRT kicker up environment, then you will replace it. I don't think that's ever happened, but it will replace it if you happen to get stopped out of it. Some basic default settings here. Again, really important. Go to cash at the confirm down. Okay, let's minimize that. And you can not only, and I'm going to show you how to paper trade it in the portfolios, but not from here. Actually, I'm going to show you how to run the back test first. What was that date? February 14, 2020? Let's do that. So let's go into the back tester. And we'll create a new one. Give this a name, Steve. Just call it triple Qs. That'll work. Okay, we'll start out with 100 grand. Let's build it from scratch. We're going to click on Build Custom Trading System. We're going to change the market timing signal to the GLBRT kicker. Gives you the rules there as well. There we go. Automation rules for the up. So we have our when to buy. We know when we're going to buy. Automation rules for the up situation. Click on A to Z here, open that up, and just hit Q on the keyboard. It should be really close to the top. There it is, Q, Q, Q. All that is a search that looks at a watch list that has that ETF in it. That's the only thing it's ever going to buy. It looks at that search, but it's only going to buy that ETF. Stop criteria, we're going to change it from none to a % gain loss. 99 gain. Basically, if the position doubles on us, we're going to take it. or 15% loss. It's really designed to hold through until a confirmed down signal. It's not buy and hold because we do have a stop loss in place. Okay? More settings. This is the important part. We're not going to maintain 10 positions. We're going to only maintain 1 position. Now, we have $100,000 in this portfolio. It could be less if you want. If you want to put $50K into it, it's a very liquid, actively traded ETF. So, you could buy quite a bit of shares. So we have $100,000, but it's percentages that we're really looking at. 1 position. When entering this situation, we're going to say don't close any open position, and we'll keep all the default settings the same. Automation rules for the down, we're going to go to cash. Neutral signal just simply means take no action. Neutral signal doesn't really come into play with this signal. With the GLBRT kicker, it comes into play a little bit more with the combo signal. And that's good. Let's click on finish. Take the date, Steve, back to February 14th of 2020. You can see that's the first green light after a confirmed down signal. And click finish and run. And so we'll see that chugging along here. If our internet holds up, there we go. You have the market timing signals on. Steve, just close that bottom taskbar there. You take off the signals. Man, that was fast. Okay, fantastic. 87.5%. Now look familiar, right? I'm going to go back to the trading system details in a moment. But 67% winning trades, 87.5% gain, 22.5% annualized, 17.5% compounded rate of return, and 15% drawdown. Very low. Okay? Very low. We are currently still holding. Got 1 holding in there, right? Because we bought it, a couple of months ago now. What are we up? 3.5%. When did we buy it? What's the date there? 11/14/2023. That was the first green light buyer kicker signal. Only up about 3.5%, but that's okay. And again, low drawdown there. Okay? Now, I would suggest to do this. Run the back test first. Run the back test first. Give yourself an idea of, okay, this is what I'll be doing. I'll be waiting for a green light buyer. You understand the market timing system. You're only buying 1 ETF. You know what the stop criteria is. Lay that out for you first in a back test. Then you can convert it. Okay? Click on convert. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with an empty portfolio. Okay? Is the portfolio going to buy QQQ today? No. Good. Okay. So we're going to start with an empty portfolio. Click OK. Now this is putting it into the Genius. We haven't put it in the RoboTrader yet. I'm not sure I'll do that, but click on Open Portfolio now. Genius is on. Okay. It is currently neutral. You got this yellow circle there. Currently neutral. Genius is on, which means now that every day moving forward, it is going to populate the portfolio if a GLBRT kicker signal, bullish signal comes. Okay? I would say, because the best green light to buy, right, is the first one after a confirmed down, and the MTI is so high, maybe wait for a confirmed down signal and then buy when the first green light RT kicker signal turns bullish. That would be the prudent approach as opposed to chasing this and trying to get into it right away, right? Makes sense? So we can keep this on, but at the same time, if a GLBRT kicker bullish signal comes, it's going to put that QQQ in the portfolio. Okay? When a confirmed down call comes, I think this is a good exercise to do then. Confirmed down call comes, market pulls back a little bit, say, okay, I'm waiting for a green light RT kicker signal, then set it up. Make sure the Genius is on, because the first kicker signal after the confirmed down would be the one to take. Okay? Okay, let's minimize that. I want to go back into, I'm sorry, Steve, let's go back there. Go back to the trading system viewer. And go back to trading system details. I want to show you some metrics here that are on that details page. So, of course, the equity curve from February 14th of 2020, if Steve continues to scroll down, you got some statistics here. 1 month, 3 months, 6 month, year to date, we're only a couple of days into the year, only down about 1.5%. Year over year, 29%. 3 years, 45%. That is 15. That's 15% a year roughly, right? Max drawdown, 15%. And there's your all-time statistics. Only 15 total trades in 4 years. So this is not a very actively traded trading system. This is one of the easier ones I think that anybody here, whether you're new, old, or been with us for a while, you should implement with a portion of your overall investment capital. Okay, and then you can see the current holdings when Steve scrolls down, just that one position. Okay, any questions, guys? Trading system, ma'am.
When you set it up, you did edit trading system. Did you not just select it?
You can, great questions. Question was, and I did that manually to show you guys, but when you set up the trading system, it is a system in the trading system viewer. So if Steve goes back to backtester, clicks on new again, you can just click on this button here to say select an existing trading system, and it's going to load all the rules for you. Okay? I just wanted to take you step by step through them manually. Yes, sir.
So if we weren't so high on the MTI,
Yeah.
would you buy another position every time the green light buyer?
No. Good question. No. So you're not doubling and tripling up every time a new green light buyer signal comes. You buy it once the first time, and you manage the position based on the stop or the confirmed down call. You don't add to the position. Yes, sir.
May I ask you what your thinking was to choose the QQQ for this system?
That's a good question. Ray, do you know the thought behind just the Qs?
There's quite a few ETFs you can just the Qs.
Yeah.
I picked the Qs. The Qs during this time frame did outperform a lot of the other ETFs. I encourage you to try it. You can do a template like this in Backtester. We'll be doing some more exploration on it. I focused in on the Qs. I'm a Qs guy, and that was kind of the thing. But it's interchangeable, and you just explore.
Just
what
buy
you can do
some
with it.
triple leverage ETFs. No big deal.
And the second question that I ask, in this particular case, when you get, I forget, does a green light buyer RT kicker show up during the day, or is it only a post-market signal?
Great question. Question was, does the GLB RT kicker signal show up at the end of the day, or is it an intraday signal? It's an end of day signal, and you're following it on an end of day basis, right? So we may have a green light in the price column of the color guard during the day, but you won't get that star until at night.
So with this system, do you recommend waiting for confirmation so it would be a second day when you'd enter the position?
Yes, good question. With all market timing systems, you want confirmation, right? We want to buy on up days. So we got a bullish market timing system, whether it's the primary wave, green light buyer, confirmed call. Jim talked about how the confirmed up call came in his retirement portfolio, and the automated system went out and bought stocks. But if you're being a little bit more proactive, wait for market confirmation after the first kicker signal. Okay? Yes, sir.
How about buying a call or spread, call spread through option trade?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't have the performance or statistics, but it makes complete sense. Okay? Yes?
Market timing is green light buyer. That's a single market timing. How do
Yes.
you accommodate the confirmed call, the second part of it?
The confirmed down call is part of the GLB RT kicker signal. So there's 3 situations with the GLB RT kicker signal. It's the green light in the price column of the color guard with the kicker moving average is bullish, right? So that's your bullish signal. You have a bearish signal, which is the confirmed down. Both of those are in this one market timing signal. Okay? DEW is the DEW up, DEW down. RT combo is the green light buyer RT kicker bullish signal, and then you have the RT combo down signals, which you'll have multiple down signals. The down signal with this trading system is a confirmed down. And when Steve goes, let's close that, Steve. When you go into the market timing graph and you have the GLB RT kicker signals on the chart, the red arrows are the same, ready for this, go to the confirm down, confirm calls. Red arrows aren't going to move. Those are the confirm down signals. Okay? Yes?
What's the relationship between the 10 and 15-day moving average on RT?
What's the relationship between the 10 and the 15? I'm sorry?
Relative to the strategy?
Yes. So the 10 and the 15-day moving averages on RT are components of the market timing signal. There's a green, and let me show you the difference. I should have done this earlier. Just put the green light bar on. You get a lot of, anytime you get a green light in the price column of the color guard, it means that the market is moving higher day over day and week over week. Doesn't take into any consideration strength or weakness of the trend. It's just green light in the price column of the color guard, market's moving higher day over day and week over week. During these, kind of sideways moving markets, non-trending markets, you're going to get green lights, okay? The point of the kicker is to eliminate some of those weaker green signals. I'll put it that way, right? Because a stronger green light is on building momentum, right? So the momentum indicators are the two moving averages. Those moving averages help us only identify green lights when the market's truly strengthening, the trend is truly strengthening. When it's weak, when the trend is weak, and you have RT falling, once Steve changes the green light by to the kicker signal, a lot of these green lights, not all of them, will be removed, especially the ones when the market's falling. Okay? So it's a kicker. It's a confirmation that the trend is strengthening when you have that 10 period above the 15. Yes?
I guess I would have assumed that then when the confirmed down came that you would then go short the cues.
Like Steve said earlier today, shorting in a bull market scenario, not a profitable endeavor consistently. I don't mind shorting stocks even in a bull market. You got to be selective when you do that. MTI above 1.6, right, and starting to fall. You want to add a hedge position to your portfolio. A short or an inverse ETF is fine. But this is a very unique system, not including shorting.
Jared,
Yeah.
I'll speak to that a little
Great.
bit. That was discussed.
Okay, fantastic. All right, guys, I'm going to bring Ray up. We're going to talk a little bit more about this tomorrow. Remember, we'll do this encore presentation at 3, but we're going to kind of talk a little bit about our coaching groups and what they all have to offer. All right? Thank you.
Jared.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Ray.
All right, can you guys hear me? Is my mic on? All right, perfect. So what did you guys think? What did everybody think? So it's a pretty cool trading system. It's a great trading system. Like I said, for that time in your life, we're all going to experience it if we're not going through it right now, where you just need to take a step back, and instead of walking away from trading the market, you could do something like this that really minimizes the number of trades you have to place, how closely you have to watch it. The system does all the work. So there was a gentleman here that had asked about, well, and it's a natural question, what about playing it to the downside when you get that signal? And the answer is quite simple, and that's, if that's something you're comfortable with, then that's something you should do. In the successful investor world, right? Todd's coaching group, he would be more apt to probably play this system closer to the way it is. And just for all of you that are online right now, in no way am I saying that this is the perfect, most optimized system that exists for this kind of thing. No, consider this a shell. Consider this a shell of a trading system that's pretty solid just on the core fundamentals of VectorVest. The timing and the cues, right? Think of it in that fashion, and you can do the tests, you can mold it, you can mend it. There are some of you, I know there are a few individuals on the VectorVest online user group that could probably optimize this to something a lot of people couldn't even fathom. And that's great, and they love to do that, and I can't wait to see what they come up with, on this. So what I'm saying is, you can play with it. Right now I have a 99% gain and a 15 loss on it. Could that be optimized? I'm sure it could be. Could you use a different timing signal or pair it with some of our other indicators to get a better jump on it? The point being, for each person, depending on your temperament, there's a lot you can do with it. Todd might leave it as it is. Jim, you know, with what he's doing and some of the things that we learned about what he does in his coaching, he might consider, when you get that signal, doing an option play. He might even be protecting that trade prior to the confirmed down call, doing a lot of things. Ron could even take it to an entirely different level, and there's a lot of things that he could do. So it's not this perfect one thing that is, it has to be this way and it's fully optimized. You can make it your own for however comfortable you are. And I think that that's important. But the key is that it shows you how the VectorVest market timing can make things a lot easier. You can find success extremely easy. The market timing is simple to follow, and you reduce your downside, because the most important thing, especially, you know, for a lot of us as we're getting older, if you get into a buy long term and you're buying and holding, and I'm not saying that that's not what you should do. You know, some of you have these legacy stocks to hold on to forever, and that's fine. The problem arises when something out of the ordinary happens and you need your money now and you cannot act in because you've just experienced a big drawdown and you don't want to sell the position because you're just taking a loss. And that's a real thing. And that's a real thing that we get called on, you know, day after day at VectorVest, where people are like, I'm down, I'm bleeding. What can I do? You don't want to be in that position. And a trading system like that, even the long term, I think Jerry showed, hey, it was the same type of gain as just buying and holding, with the exception that your money was always there when you needed it. Instead of the almost 40% drawdown, where at one point 40% of the money was gone, only 15% drawdown for those awesome returns. That's pretty powerful. So let that settle in and think about that a little bit. I do want to spend a few minutes, and we're going to have Glenn kind of wrap up the show a little bit here in a moment. But I want to invite some of the coaches to come up and talk a little bit about why would the coaching be important? And coaching might not be for everybody. But it was one of the things that we kept getting asked over years and years and years, over and over again. Could you just trade my money for me? Can I just bring you home and do that? And it's like, well, you know, so we get some legalities there, and you know, my wife doesn't want me to be working all day long. So the coaching is what we came up with, and it was the next closest thing. And you know, all of these guys, it's all based on VectorVest. It's just that little nuance, right? It's the I've got more of a retirement thing. Jim, you know, it could be like a no-holds-barred brawl because Jim's like, no, we're going to protect. And Jerry's like, no, we're going for the gold, you know. It's kind of interesting. But they each have their place. And what we found, and many of our subscribers found, that the coaching allows them to learn in real time with what's happening in the market. And you can, as the market's happening, you're actually learning and feeling it and experiencing it at the same time with the coaches. And it's very different than the hindsight, oh, well, look back here, this would have happened, we would have done this. But when it's in real time, there's a different type of learning involved. So it's something you should consider. And Jim, if you wouldn't mind, I think a lot of you know what the Successful Investor is all about now, and I talked about the performance. So I'm going to ask Jim to just talk for a minute about retirement and why maybe somebody would consider it.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Ray. Yeah, and if I got into an argument with Jerry about whether to short or go long, he's bigger and younger than I am, so I'm going to do what he tells me. But yeah, that was really cool. Anyway, just to start with this, that idea that Ray was talking about, one of the things, you know, why the retirement coaching group, right? What's the purpose of it? What are some reasons that I think you guys might like it if you're not in it already? Is that it could be anything. It could be something like this, where we protect a position, right? Somebody mentioned, what if you buy puts when the confirmed down call comes? Can you go short when it goes down? I don't know the answer. I haven't tested it, but the idea of protecting your portfolio, as I tried to make clear earlier, is so important. The beauty of the coaching group is that every Tuesday at 2:00, we go into our chat room, our coaching room, which is a wonderful new setup that we have, as opposed to the old coaching groups. It's interactive. It's open 24 hours a day. If you join and you have a question, you can go in, type it in the chat box. Everybody sees it. Other students or members of the group will respond. It's really neat. We meet at 2:00. I can call an impromptu meeting, or I can post alerts if I do something on my trade. But the beauty of it is that, and I know I crammed a lot into my second talk today, but in the coaching group, we look at it, we talk, we interact with the folks in the coaching room and said, is this a good day to do a buy right? Should we be looking at protective puts for our portfolio right now? Listen, reckon back to the old cop days again. I get nervous about everything, right? So I don't need a confirmed down to say it's time to protect my portfolio. I could wake up in the morning and just, for whatever reason, say, you know what? I'm going to protect my hard-earned net worth today, and I'm going to buy some put options. Red light in the price column, confirm DEW down, whatever it might be, right? Whatever you choose to be, there's never a bad time to protect your portfolio. And this is what we talk about in the coaching group. So I think it could be very helpful if you're looking to build and manage that portfolio. Again, we in real time track the movement of our dividend portfolio. And then, of course, we spend a lot of time on, when the market is a little more bullish, doing buy rights. And as of this year, for those who are in the coaching group room, I am going to be much more active, because even in a market where I'm not really just bullish on just ruler stocks or whatever, there's always an industry or a sector, right? Right now, we did a buy right this past Tuesday on XLE, which is the energy ETF, the SPDR ETF. It's doing okay, but I just think it's a good defensive measure, a good way to generate income. And that's just one example. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of them this year. I adjusted my stop criteria. It's what we do. We talk about all of the different ways to build and manage, and most importantly, again, to me, is to protect it. So I'd love to see you guys. If you have questions, you can give a call, or I'd love to be able to have you in the coaching group. I think it's important. If you're building, managing your net worth, it's a good place to be. I think that's it, right? Thank you.
I'll use this one. All right, so myself, Steve Chappell, we are the two coaches for the swing trading coaching group. And what we'll do is, we have a lot of different swing trading courses, right? Trade Like a Pro. Anybody take Trade Like a Pro? Mastering Moving Averages, another really good one. Uncovering Trends, which is a technical analysis course. So those courses teach very specific swing trading strategies. And a lot of what we do in those courses is theoretical. We look at historical examples, we teach the systems, we look at historical examples to drive home kind of the efficacy of the techniques. What we do in the swing trading coaching group is, with real money, trade those techniques. Tomorrow I'm going to teach a swing trading strategy called Surfing the Reversal Waves, one of my maybe half a dozen go-to strategies for the swing trading coaching group. It was taught in our Mastering Moving Averages course. I like RSI2 a lot. That's a strategy that that's taught in our Trade Like a Pro course. So I take bits and pieces of swing trading courses. Some of my favorite swing trading strategies, we'll teach them in the coaching group. We'll use them with real money to help our traders and our members grow their swing trading portfolio. Steve, I'm not sure. Click on RoboTrader real quick. Okay, this is not my account. Let's minimize that. Open up the other VectorVest. Last year, I think it was the first year we implemented these coaching groups. We did 25% in our swing trading portfolio. Not last year, I'm sorry, 2022. Rough year for the stock market. I did a lot of shorting in 2022. Shorting stocks, inverse ETFs, we'll use in down markets. So this year, again, last year was 25%. This year is 21%. I started this portfolio in January 12th of 2023. End of day equity curve, it's rough, okay? Swing trading, guys, is an aggressive way to grow your capital. I would love a smooth equity curve from bottom left to upper right. It was a little bit better in 2022, but look, it has some big upswings and some big downswings. But we ended the year up 21%. Just a couple of recent trades. MTI got above 1.6. I bought SQQQ and I shorted JD.com. Netted about $1,100 in about 2 or 3 days. Real quick, off of the top. Our market analysis, our market perspective, a lot different than Jim's, right? We'll use the primary wave. We'll buy stocks on primary wave ups. We'll short stocks on primary wave downs. We'll use some technical indicators. We'll really pay close attention to moving averages and support and resistance. Those are kind of the core indicators that we'll use. 40% winning trades. How can you make 21% and only have 40% winning trades? How can you do that? Risk management, right? Small losses. Sometimes I'll have losses a little bit bigger than I'd like, but overall, small losses, let your winners run. I'm never risking any more than 1 to 2% of the overall portfolio on any one position, always keeping that rule in the forefront of every trade. Steve and I will go through position sizing, setting the proper stop losses on your swing trades. So really fun group, very systematic. Nothing is willy-nilly or arbitrary. Everything we do has a rhyme and reason to it. Every trade that we place has a predetermined stop loss and a profit target. Okay? So you'll never have to sit there and wonder, oh, what do I do? When do I sell? It's all laid out for you every single Thursday. We meet on Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. So we close this session. We go from 2:30 to 4. We close the session. We'll queue up trades for the next day. So we may look at stocks that the members want to see. I've had some really good winners from just suggestions from the group. Or we'll run some scans, queue up some stocks. I'll lay out the stop loss, the whole structure of the trade, post it in the coaching room. And everything, again, we do is very systematic. So love for you guys to join. It's a lot of fun. Got a couple of hundred members on a consistent basis, so looking forward to it. I'm going to bring up Ron now. He'll talk to you guys about the URS coaching group. Yes?
If you haven't been through the individual courses, do you think it's better to go through that first, or do you just pick it up?
That's a good question. So if you haven't been through the individual swing trading courses, should you take the courses first or just sign up for the coaching group? Just sign up for the coaching group, because the better, some of the better strategies taught in those courses, I'm going to teach on Thursday. So I'll not only just use them, I'm going to teach the system, make sure you guys know where to set your stop losses, where to set your profit targets. So just join the coaching group and you'll learn all you need to know.
Okay.
All right.
Secondly, if you are not able to be present there, is it posted like later that night so you can be ready for the next day?
Yes, so each session is recorded. With the new coaching rooms, what I love about it is as soon as we're done, the recording is in the room. So the recording is available within about 10 minutes after we're done in the coaching room, but I'll also post it to the university as well. And the queued up trades for the next day, I'll post in the coaching room as well that night before the next day, before the next session. Yes, ma'am?
So the times that you're giving are Eastern Standard Time?
Yes, they are. Eastern Standard Time, yep. All right, I'm going to bring on Ron. Thank you, guys.
All right, well, thank you. And I run the URS, the Ultimate Retirement Solution Group Coaching. And first off, I got to say this ETF thing that Jerry showed you, awesome. I sat in the back there, and I have 4 different option strategies. We can play on it right now. I found a trade where, like, right now, instead of putting out $180,000 for the stock, you put out $15,000 in options, and you have a 15% ROI in the current position. So I'm going to do a little bit more with that this year for sure as something more casual that we can do with a longer-term thing. But my coaching is, I almost want to say, a step up from Jim's. Jim and I have a lot of parallels. You saw today with Jim where he was doing things like premier growth stocks and ruler stocks. I use the same stocks that Jim does ultimately. I like good RS stocks. Now, the only difference is, in my coaching group, I trade options, and that's it. Now, what I primarily focus on are essentially 2 trades. I do bull puts on good stocks rising in price during due up. I do bear calls on falling stocks in a due down. And that's about up 90% of the trades that I do. So I went back and kind of looked at my 2-year track record over the last couple of years. And I've got 31% last year, 31% this year when you combine just those trades. Now we do an average of about 10 to 15 trades a month. With the right broker, these are trades that you can put predetermined stops on, all for option trades. And we do this every Monday. Monday at 11 a.m., I do an SPX trade. So I like the index trading. It's one of my primary strategies I do. Index trading was a little bit weak this year. I ended up with about a 10% profit at the end of the year after a really kind of dismal run. Stocks did really well this year. I was up about 22, 23% of my stock trades. And these are things that we do live. So with those coaching groups, I go live, I turn on, cameras, I turn on the screens, and every Monday at 10 a.m., I place an SPX trade with my class. I use my trading account, real money. At 2 p.m., I come back and we run them on stocks. I go through the same process, the same selection, every single Monday, exactly the same way that we do things all the time. So if you want to really learn about option trading, and the cool thing about this is, I trade $100,000 in capital, and I'm trading Amazon, I'm trading AutoZone, I'm trading all these expensive companies, but you can do it with such a small amount. And there's so many different things that you can do in our URS group. Now, I was actually, and I'll show you guys these numbers tomorrow so you don't think I'm fibbing. When I do my Options Paycheck live presentation tomorrow, I'll start with my Wingman Tracker program, which tracks all of my trades. Last year, as part of the entire URS, I was up about 60% last year. My credit spread trading that I do, which is the Options Paycheck, was 31% of that. I also do other types of strategies like earnings trades, where we ride the stock up or down in the 2 to 3 weeks prior to earnings. We do diagonal trades from time to time, where we buy an option 2 or 3 months out, sell options against it, very similar to a covered call. We call those the poor man's covered calls. So what you're going to learn really in the URS is how to use options solely. No more buying stocks, no more worrying about being assigned, nothing like that. We're never going to have that happen. You're going to learn a good strategy that I've been using now for probably 15 years. I've been teaching at VectorVest now for coming up on 9. And a way to fully use options to create market income. And like I said, like Jim, like Jerry, I go live when I need to update trades. I post all of my trades to our coaching group. So even if you can't view the live presentations, the recordings are available immediately, but you can always go and download my page files so you can see all my trades. I update things as they go. Today, in fact, you'll see this tomorrow. Everybody, you guys ever heard of zero data expiration options trading? Made like $400 today doing a zero data expiration options trade. And I posted it on our coaching group every step along the way. I probably could have made more, but then I had a mouse for Jim. So I blame Jim for having to come up and take myself out of that trade. But you are going to learn everything about options. And the beautiful thing is I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to make it to where it's a machine, it's a mechanical process, and you are going to be able to share in those returns. The only thing I ask of you, the only thing I expect is you to keep at it. One of the biggest problems I have is people that kind of get gun shy after a losing trade or two. I remember standing up here last year and I was told to go 5 minutes, so I'm at like 5 minutes and 10 seconds. I remember last year at Tampa, there was a trading system that they showed that had like 1,000% return over like 15 years, right? But I'm in the back kind of snickering. It had like a 20% drawdown. And I'm like, how many people would probably stick with this through a 20% drawdown? Not very many. Well, the problem is, then you didn't make any money. And I see this a lot with a lot of coaching. Kind of like even Jerry showed you, there's drawdowns. But if you don't come back to it, if you don't stick with the plan, you can't be successful. I did that a lot this year. I had some S&P trades that really were not that great. I had a 4, 5, 6, 7 month period where I didn't really make any money. But if you gave up, you missed out on gains for the entire year. So you got to stick with it. You got to come prepared. I'll teach you how to do it, and you will become a good options trader. That's their URS. That's what we do in our coaching group. Yes, questions? Yep.
You said mostly you do bullpens, bear calls. You didn't say spread at the end of that. Are those spreads?
They are spreads. So yeah, about 90% of my trades are just bull puts and bear calls. And then the other 10% I sprinkle in there with calendar spreads, iron condors. That's pretty much the other two I mainly trade. So I try to keep it simple. There's all kinds of exotic option strategies out there. But you know what? To make money, it doesn't have to be that way. It can be simple. And that's what I like to do. Keep it simple, keep it easy, keep it risk adverse.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, you got one?
I got one.
All right, I'll start talking into it at the end. Just kidding. All right, I did 6. Sorry.
Yes? All right. So, out of all them people, I'm the only one that don't have a coaching group. Oh, no. Joey doesn't have a coaching group. Do you know why I don't have a coaching group? Wow. Joey's in the background right now enjoying this. The reason why I don't have a coaching group is because I am primarily on YouTube. So that is, I'm one of the main faces on YouTube, and that's why, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, and that's, you know, what we do. So, Joe, where's Clay? Clay, where? Oh, all right, well, I wanted to do this, but I wanted it to be recorded. I didn't do this morning because I was told not to. So what I'm going to do, I can't see you, Ray, if you're looking at me. What I want you to do is, on the count of 3, I'm trying to get an ooh-wee. But it's got to be a jazzy ooh-wee. All right? It's got to be a jazzy ooh-wee for everybody who knows me. So on 3, you ready? 1, 2, 3. That's what I'm talking about right there. All right. So that's my mainstay no matter what I do, whether it's on the Jockey Club or on YouTube. That's my thing is ooh-wee, and that's what I wanted to have happen. That was a good one right there. Woo! It gave me goosebumps. All right. So talking about the YouTube store, talking about YouTube, we also have a merchandise store, and I got a couple of shirts that I want to show you. I was going to put myself on the red carpet and sashay down. I don't know if my wife would like that, but love the colors of the shirts. That's a nice little tannish type shirt. This is a nice VectorVest blue type shirt. The quality on these shirts are freaking awesome. And then for all you golf players, look at this. How snazzy is this, folks? All right, so there's a lot of stuff, and every one of you got a $20 certificate to go to the merchandise store and pick up some merchandise. All right, so I wanted to come up, get that ooh-wee out for all of you guys at home.
Can you tell them the link to the store?
Oh, the link to the store is www.vectorvest.com/merchandise. I knew it. I knew it all by myself. All right, /merchandise. And then all of you have the $20, the code for the $20 off. Use it. A lot of great stuff there. All right. So utilize the store. One last thing. Huh? Preaching. When am I preaching? Can I get an amen? Evidently, I'm preaching. All right. So hey, listen. You know how many times I've been asked, are you a preacher? No, I'm not, but I am going to go to seminary. Just want to put that out there. I want to learn my Bible. So I do want to do that, but I'm not going to preach. For those of you at home, sorry again for the internet issues that we had today. What we're going to do is we're going to put this out for you tomorrow. You'll be able to get this, and there you go. So thank you for your patience and all of that. One last thing. If you're not following us on YouTube already, I want everybody before you leave tonight to go to YouTube, search for VectorVest, subscribe to the channel. All right, subscribe to the channel. It's the only way we're going to grow. We've been growing as a community, and I'm pushing for us to grow bigger and more. All right, with that, we're going to end tonight, but everybody who's in the room, stay. Not ready to release you yet. But for everybody else, we're going to be ending for the night. See you tomorrow morning.